Ready to discover how bending your body can be your ticket to Hollywood? Welcome to How to Become, the channel that dives into the wildest jobs out there. In this episode, we're stretching the limits as we dive into the world of contortionists. Let's explain what a contortionist actually is. There are different types. Some bend forward, some backward, and the most talented ones can twist in ways that make you question the very nature of human anatomy. It's like watching a play of human Jenga, but with their own limbs, both impressive and slightly terrifying. Makes you wonder if they've got any bones left in there. For some, extreme flexibility is, quite literally, in their DNA, often due to conditions like hypermobility, where their joints naturally stretch beyond normal limits. Meanwhile, others have to eat, sleep, and breathe stretching exercises to get to that level of flexibility. Now let's take a trip in our time machine and explore how it all started. Back in around 2500 BC in ancient Egypt, flexible performers were depicted on tomb walls, and bending over backward wasn't just a party trick. It was like wearing the fanciest robe at a royal shindig. Next, we traveled to 1045 BC in China, where early contortionism was documented during the Western Zhou dynasty. In the 9th century in Tibet, we have Buddhist cham dances, with monks stretching themselves into impossible shapes for religious rituals. In 12th century Mongolia, contortion was part of the nomadic lifestyle. Suppose when you're always on the go, you need to fold into all sorts of shapes, including a human paperclip. Fast forward to 19th century Europe, where circuses began to gain popularity and contortionists became staple acts. Then, in the 1940s Mongolia, contortion found its place as a star act in Mongolia's state circus. At last, job security and a steady paycheck. Finally, in the 1980s, Cirque du Soleil swooped in. They gave contortion the glow-up it deserved, and twisting into a pretzel was suddenly classy. Today, contortionists dazzle audiences in circuses, cabarets, and shows, appear in films and music videos, and thanks to social media, they're flexing their way to global fame. It's time to go through the basic skills you need to twist, stretch, and impress without pulling a muscle. First, assess your flexibility. If you can't touch your toes without groaning, don't give up. Start stretching every single day. Focus on your legs, back, shoulders, basically any bendable part. Next, you'll want to get cozy with your body's inner workings, muscles, joints, and ligaments. Understanding these will help you bend without breaking. Start with anatomy textbooks, workshops, or courses in anatomy and physiology. Then, seek out the pros in your area. For example, the Mongolian Contortion Center offers authentic techniques straight from the source. Also, the Circus Center in San Francisco and École Nationale de Cirque in Montreal are hotspots for serious training, where you'll learn to squeeze into spaces smaller than your carry-on. It's a good idea to spice things up with dance, yoga, or gymnastics classes. While you could go solo, finding a trainer is highly recommended, especially if you're new to these activities. Professionals help make sure you don't accidentally turn your body into a permanent question mark. If official schools aren't an option, don't lose hope. You don't need formal training to get started. Fortunately, unlike the Mongols of old, you have the magic of YouTube tutorials at your fingertips. You may not earn a fancy degree, but once you nail a scorpion pose or a triple fold, you can call yourself a contortionist. Once you've learned the basics, it's time to put those moves into action. Joining a contortionist or circus group offers great support and valuable experience. Check local circus schools, community centers, or social media groups to connect with fellow aspiring contortionists. Being part of a community opens doors for collaborations and performances. Plus, it's way more fun to struggle through those stretches together. As you sharpen your skills, build a dazzling portfolio to showcase your talents and prepare to audition for circuses, cabarets, and private events. Networking at festivals and workshops can lead to exciting gigs, while platforms like Instagram and TikTok let you share your talent with the world. Once you've mastered those skills, you're officially a contortionist. The title may not be official, but it creates exciting opportunities beyond the circus. Think theater, think stunt work, think modeling gigs. So, stretch those limbs and get ready to twist your way into an exciting career. Let's talk about the not-so-bendy side of things, earnings and costs. If you land a gig with Cirque du Soleil, depending on your experience and act, expect to earn between $50,000 and $90,000 per year. Those at the very top of their game might pull in even more, depending on the contract and show. Plus, there are perks. Housing, food, transportation, health insurance, and travel expenses are covered, making life on the road a bit easier and cheaper. Outside of Cirque, though, it can vary. Smaller circuses or freelance work might bring in anywhere from $40,000 to $70,000, but that depends on how often you're performing and what kinds of shows you're doing. Unlike jugglers who can hustle for tips at traffic lights, for contortionists, it's trickier to find side gigs. They often need to get creative with their talents, taking on gigs at private events, themed festivals, or on cruise ships. And while the pay can range from decent to impressive, steady income is far less predictable. Now, expenses. Don't worry, being a contortionist doesn't cost arm and leg, because you'll need both to perform. However, all those schools we mentioned do cost money. For example, classes can run from $45 to $65 at the Circus Center in San Francisco, while the École Nationale de Cirque in Montreal charges $5,000 to $10,000 annually, depending on your nationality. But before financial worries get you down, ask around for schools that provide programs. Many of these institutions offer scholarships and grants to help lighten the burden. There's also private coaching, but here you're looking at an extra $75 to $150 per hour. If you can afford it, the investment can be worth it, to avoid snapping like a rubber band. And don't forget the expense of your outfits. You definitely can't train in your skinny jeans. Though it would be hilarious to see them crack under pressure. Choose something stretchy and save the sequined leotards for big performances. Okay, let's explore the story of the contortionist who stretched his way into fame. Introducing Daniel Browning Smith, aka the Rubber Boy. He holds an impressive 7 Guinness World Records. This flexibility legend's journey supposedly began in school, where he cleverly dodged punishment by squeezing into lockers and hiding in spots no one else could fit into. His ability to dislocate both arms and legs and twist his torso 180 degrees has led him to appearances on The Tonight Show and performances with Cirque du Soleil. But that's not all. He's also made his mark as an actor, stuntman, and TV personality. Now, you might wonder how he pulls off these superhuman moves. Daniel has a genetic condition called hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Not the easiest name to say, but it basically means his connective tissues are like elastic bands, letting him bend in ways that would send the rest of us straight to the ER. Nowadays, he's one of the most famous contortionists in the world, proving that sometimes the best way to stand out is to bend over backward. Ready for some quick fun facts? Did you know that in 2011, Indian contortionist Vijay Sharma made headlines by pulling out his teeth while contorting? Talk about a unique career move. And the bendy girl, Sophie Dasi, can hold a chin stand for over an hour and 20 minutes. Some of us can barely stand in line that long without contemplating a snack. And to show that contortionism can land a Hollywood role, there's Xiaobo Qin. He played Yen in Ocean's 11, where his flexibility helped him maneuver through tight spaces during the heist. Also, contortionists are making waves in music videos and live shows for rock giants like Tool and Slipknot. With moves that add a spine-tingling twist to the already intense music vibes, they really bend the rules of performance. And that's a wrap on our journey into the world of contortionists. For insights on other cool circus careers, such as aerial artist, hula hoop performer, juggler, and circus physical therapist, go to the link in the description. If contortion sounds too extreme for you, check our video on animal sitting, where you'll find fewer bends but plenty of unpredictable moments only animals can create. And make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, or you might miss out on our next episode. Who knows, it could be your future calling. See ya!